At that time, what's your relationship with your dad at 6.5?
My dad walked away when I was probably 7, shortly right after that.
So it's right around that time that this is happening to you. Got it. Okay, so that had a massive impact on you. Because, huge.
Yeah.
So is that a moment for you where your biological father walked out, but your spiritual father is going to be with you forever?
Yeah.
Did that give you that peace as a young man?
Yeah, Raymond was...
Young boy?
Yeah, Raymond was pretty much my dad, even though he was 9. And his grandmother, my mother, was a wonderful woman. She left a wonderful legacy, but she wasn't educated in Scripture. But his grandmother was my spiritual mother.
Raymond's grandmother.
Raymond, because his mother died when he was young, so his maternal grandmother raised him and his brother.
How much time did you spend with her?
I think from 6.5 to 10.
How often? Like every day?
Every day we'd go. I'd hang out with him every day. We'd go to the house. She would teach us prayers.
She would or he would?
She would. In fact, because of her impact, I still remember. Now I know it's part of the liturgy of the Assyrian Church, but I didn't know that back then. She would teach. She taught me this, and that's for some reason those prayers. Qaddisha alaha qaddi. She taught me that. She also taught me the Ave Maria, but in a different way from where Buccelli says it. She taught it this way. Now, guys, I'm not a singer, and I'm not going to give up my day job. So she taught it this way. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. So I remember that. For some reason, it stayed in my mind. Right? She was a wonderful woman.
6.5 years old. Was Raymond's grandmother friends with your mother?
No.
They didn't know each other?
No. They were in the neighborhood. So, you know how you meet people high and by,
Sure.
But
You're
it wasn't,
Chicago.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, we're cousins. No, just he was taught to go soul winning. So when he won me, he took me to his grandmother and she'd teach us prayers.
And what was the denomination?
She was Catholic. His uncle on his mother's side became Baptist.
So later on at 18 years old, when that security guard, the guy you're working with at the valet at this Bub's City, when you worked there, and he introduced you to the Nation of Islam and, Farrakhan and all these guys, at that time, would you say pre-meeting him you'd consider yourself a Christian, or you're a lost teenager kind of going through?
Yeah, I had pretty much turned my back on Christianity.
When you left at 10 years old, 1972,
it was about
you said?
13. 13. When he 10, he relooked, but I think he was 10. He moved, and I started slipping. But around 13, I was just
gone.
Yeah.
So 13 to 18, there's nothing.
No. Nothing.
No church, no mentor, no father figure, no nothing.
Yeah.
Did you go to college? Are you a good student in school? What are you doing in school?
I was such a good student, I got that on out of high school. Third year. Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
And this is Chicago.
GD. Yep. Then I got a GD, and never been to college, never been to seminary, never been to university.
What was your, what class came easy to you? Are you a math guy? Are you an English guy? Are you a history guy? Are you?
I liked history, but not in school. I just hated being in school because of my body dysmorphia and low self-esteem. I couldn't be around crowds.
Were you in gangs? Were you a troublemaker? Were you?
I was with the gangs, but I wasn't the tough guy. I mean, I hung out with like the Assyrian kings.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assyrian kings, right? Yeah.
So 18 years old, you meet this guy. Did you ever convert and become a Muslim or no?
In my heart, I believed Muhammad was a prophet, but it's not good enough because if you go with Sunni Islamic tradition, you have to take the Shahada in front of at least 2 witnesses. But the guy who was talking about Islam, he didn't take me to a mosque. He just was talking, and then I started. My curiosity is such that when I get into something, I have to study it. So if I backtrack, like when I liked Bruce Lee, I ate up every book on Bruce Lee. And I would devour hours into Bruce Lee. I had to know this guy inside and out. When it came to bodybuilding, I would devour every bodybuilding magazine, and there was Arnold Schwarzenegger's encyclopedia, that.
50.
Something about me, when I'm into something, I eat it up, and nothing else matters. It's like I'm just focused on this. The world can go to hell. I mean, God forbid, but and so whatever I focus on becomes the entire center of my life. Everything I do revolves around that. So during this time, I'm thinking, I've deceived myself. I'm going to make it to Hollywood. The Lord had a sense of humor.
At 18.
Yeah, but when I was bodybuilding, my goal was that I'm going to get into Hollywood like these guys did. Bruce Lee did martial arts. I'm going to do it somehow. So
are you watching Jean-Claude Van Damme? Are you watching all these movies? Are you watching?
I would watch them, but they never compared to Bruce Lee. I would watch Bruce Lee over.
You know who's a big Bruce Lee guy? Dana White.
He is?
You go to his gym, in his office,
on,
Bruce Lee quotes everywhere.
He's all right.
When you walk into his office, there's a Bruce Lee quote on the wall in his office. Like, Dana's a Bruce Lee fanatic.
So he does think he's a real deal. He's not a fake, huh?
No.
Good,
He's based on the way I had when I was with him. It was a lot of respect for him. His quotes are all over his gym, everywhere. Okay, so 18 years old now. Is he discipling you? Is this guy the
No.
Did he bring you anywhere? Did you meet somebody? Did you meet any of the big names?
Nope.
On the Nation of Islam? Nothing.
I
It's
just
all
went-
independent identity.
I just
18
went
years old.
searching. Went to bookstores and
18 years old, there's no internet. There is internet, but there's not the Google and all that stuff because you know your age where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't remember using internet at that time either.
No.
It was more the AOL chat or whatever it
yeah,
was.
remember
right?
that? Yeah, the slow one.
Yeah, that's right. Net zero and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so at this time you're going through it, and then you read the Quran, and you go through your phase. What are you doing occupation-wise? What are you doing to make money?
At that time, I was working security, and sometimes I'd work as a tow truck guy, just to buy time to get into. I really thought I was delusional. All right, but how did I research? I just go to bookstore. There was a Muslim bookstore in Chicago, Northside, Devon. There's actually two. One of them is still there. If the people are watching, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's by Devon, California. It's called Iqra, but in the 90s, it was not at that same spot. So I'd go buy Muslim books. And I'd go, now, we still have Barnes & Nobles, but at that time, we also had Borders. You guys remember Borders?
Of course.
Yeah. I love Borders more than Barnes & Nobles.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just liked it. Maybe the colors, who knows? But I would go there and try to get books, and then Muslim bookstores, obviously. But what really did it for me is I would buy VHS tape debates. We're living in a time of the VCR, VHS. I know some people saying, "What is that?" Right? I think it's like the way of the dodo bird. Betamax, and we had VHS. So they would sell Muslim Christian debates. Now all those debates are online on YouTube, but that time we didn't have YouTube. So I bought them, and I'll tell you how I got into apologetics, because that was because of some Muslim guy who challenged me. But when I watched the debates, I'm designed in a weird way. I learn more from attacks on the faith than I learn from defending the faith, because it forces me to think. So I was watching the Muslims slaughtering the Christians, and it got me to think, how do I answer this guy? So that put a fire in me to find answers. Now, I was never discipled. I didn't have a pastor. I didn't have a priest. I had to just rely on God's Spirit to guide me to the right sources, find the right, let's say, authors, or listen to the right Christians. But when it came to Christian-Muslim debates, the Christians were getting slaughtered. I cannot tell you of any Christian that I think won a debate decisively in the 90s. There were some close, but for some reason, the Muslims were slaughtering the Christians.
What was their angle? What angle did they take that Christians didn't have a way to defend themselves?
Even when it came to Christian topics, the Christians were doing bad. Like, is the Bible God's word? You would have scholars, like, in fact, it's on YouTube, like the late Dr. Gleason L. Archer, who was professor emeritus of, now it's closed, but in Deerfield, Illinois, you had Trinity Evangelical Divinity Seminary. This man was a beast. Now, he's since he's gone with the Lord. He would read and write 25 languages. Jeez. He's amazing. But when it came to debate, he was getting slaughtered. And by neophyte Muslims who don't know biblical languages. And on topics you'd think it would be easy for him. He was just getting slaughtered. You'll find on YouTube, Gleason Archer, Muslim debates. Disappointing. Trinity, getting slaughtered. Topics that we should win. It's one thing when you're debating a Muslim topic you're not familiar with, and you have the advantage, you're a Muslim. But when it comes to your own topics, and and he is brilliant, but he's not a debater. See, you'll see some of the debates right there. Gleason Archer versus Jamal Badawi, the authenticity of the Quran. I mean, it was heartbreaking, because I'm not a scholar. I'm just a teenager, and these scholars, is there a response? So to tell you how I got into this, so see how God works. When I finally did embrace Christ and realized that Muhammad was deceived, an antichrist, 1 John 2, 22, 23, I had a friend who used to teach me how to box, because I used to teach him how to bodybuild. I don't want to mention his name. I don't know what happened to him since, and I don't want to get him in trouble. I don't know if he's still in the faith, but he was from a Bosnian background. His father was a boxing coach. And so he would teach me boxing. I would teach him how to lift weights. Because remember, I'm going to get into Hollywood, brother. As I started talking to him about Christianity, he started getting interested. Now, remember, he's Muslim background.
Bosnian Muslim background.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he started not going to the Jummah prayers, Friday prayers, and his community college, Wright College. So the Muslims started noticing. So they asked him, what's going on? He goes, well, I'm starting to get into Christianity. Who's the guy? Who's been influencing you? Well, I'm a neophyte. I'm green. I don't know much about it. I'm just learning. So I met a couple of his friends.